Car mechanics are speaking out about what's happening to modern American cars and trucks, and many of them are sending the same warning. Between rising repair costs, increasingly complicated technology, recurring mechanical problems, and vehicles that are becoming harder to diagnose, many technicians believe something has fundamentally changed across the industry. After seeing the same concerns come up again and again, I put together some of the most interesting clips so you can decide for yourself. Before we continue, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We upload new automotive content every day, so if you enjoy videos like this, you're in the right place. But with that being said, let's get back into the video.
I just wanted to take a moment to explain to you why I despise Fiat Chrysler America and all of their vehicles and the way that they are engineered. So this is for the door. This is a replacement. This is obviously the old one. You know, you can use it as a sword, or whatever you can beat some corporate douchebags with it from FCA. But so this piece, I'll use this one. The only way you can get it out is by completely demolishing the door. It's held in with 3 little Allen screws in here. It just slides right in, okay? And the only way to get this seal off, first of all, is it slides out, okay? But the only way to get it to slide out is to take this piece off, and the only way to literally rip this piece off is by undoing a little clip down here. And it's a Christmas tree clip, and it goes right in there. And the only way to get that Christmas tree clip out is to remove this door, which, by the way, you need to be like stupid strong to rip it off, because instead of using regular clips, they use these little stud clips, and they are a... Let's move on. Okay, all right. It's held in with a 10mm screw through the door, into there. And then there's a 7 for some reason right there. Could have been an 8. Like other car brands, or it could have been a 10, because that would make sense. But no, they decided to use a 7. So therefore, I'm gonna say it again. I hate Fiat Chrysler America and their cars.
Is GM the only one that does this? Who the hell rivets their ball joints in? It is a wear part. It's gonna have to get replaced at some point. And the new ones, you just bolt in. So why don't they come bolted in from the factory?
I swear, car manufacturers are just trying to get flamed at this point. This is a 2026 Range Rover. You might be wondering, what's he doing up underneath the car? Oh, he's looking to get to the battery. Why would you put the battery underneath the car? This makes no sense.
These new cars are out of hand. You can't even have a door handle nowadays. Look at this. Where's your regular door handle, right? Something easy, something that's going to last forever. No, you need to push a button to have the popper to open the door. Like, yeah, that's going to last forever. Back doesn't even have, there's not even anywhere to grab. You are fully reliant on this. I don't know about you, but I don't see an issue with having a door handle, right? Something you can just pull on, easy. Something that's actually going to last 20 years, right? Look, open, shut. What's so hard about that? Actually, something that I noticed, so see how this has the keyhole exposed? I do not care. That's easy to get to, that's nice, that's breezy. This one, it's hidden, you got to pop that piece out and then get it through. Okay. I just realized, how do you do that on this one? Like, huh? It's got the blade in there. I found that. Oh, that's going to be awesome. That's not going to be an issue when you get locked out of your car. Yeah, awesome. Thinking ahead there, Ford.
When I tell you these Ford Escapes are the biggest you could ever buy, here's another reason why. So, first reason, if you want to remove this dash, do any HVAC work, you have to pull the doors because the bolts go in through the outside here. Here's the other reason. Ford likes to over-engineer shit. And I tell you, a blower motor that can simply be changed from the driver's side, had they just changed a couple minor things, Instead, they have you remove the BCM, the glove box, all these brackets, remove the wiring down out of the way, and then get the recirc door out of the way, which has 3 screws on it that 2 of them are almost impossible to see. And then you have to go from the driver's side, push in on the locking tab, twist lock this blower motor, and then push it into the airbox and remove it from the passenger side. Just over-engineered garbage.
All right, to check the trans fluid level in this F-150 here, you just got to take this little cap off, and then you could reach the tiny little plastic dipstick. But in order to check it at the correct level, you have to have the vehicle at operating temperature, or at least the transmission fluid. What's great about that is when you get this trans fluid to operating temperature, this cat right here is 13,000 degrees, and you can't get your hand up in here without losing the back of your hand. It's fantastic.
Hello, I used to be a design engineer for a major diesel manufacturer, and I wanted to start explaining this kind of stuff for my mechanic friends because I understand sometimes you guys just can't understand our genius. Just know engineers never make mistakes. There's always a good reason for something we did, even if you don't understand it. Like this one. You guys talk about how cold your hands get during the winter. A cat's pretty warm, man. Listen, just put your hands up there, get those things nice and warm, and then you're good. You just keep that in the shop running all day long. You're welcome. Anyway, just let me know when you guys have another question.
So, I've never had the cylinder head off or cam sprockets off of a 1.4 GM. FU GM. FU. Never needed special tools, just locked the cams in place, and then took out the bolt to put in a pin to lock the crank in place. But I get the whole Ford thing with no keyway on the crank on the harmonic balancer. It's easy, just again pull a plug out of the block, put a pin in to hold the crank in place. But on the Ford, doing the timing chain, you have a timing mark on the crank sprocket. You have timing marks on the camshaft sprockets. On this GM, there's no mark. No mark on the crank sprocket. No marks. No timing marks on the cam sprockets. Which, again, if you're just doing the timing chain and guides and tensioner and all that, it's fine. Just lock everything in place, put the new chain on, and there you go. But if you have to replace the cylinder head and you have to swap over the cam sprockets, they don't have a keyway. Oh, and the exciter wheels for your cam position sensors. Yeah, they don't have a keyway, and they are not welded or mated to the sprocket in a fixed place. Why? Why the would you do that? Oh man, I can't say what I would do to this engineer on TikTok, but just use your imagination.
Hey, what's this oil pan made out of? Aluminum? No, we need to make that plastic. You guys like V8 engines? Good to know. We're gonna take this half-ton truck and cram a turboed 4-cylinder in it. It's gonna take a shit every 17,000 miles. No, oil pan needs to be plastic, valve covers need to be plastic. You guys ever do anything with plastic suspension pieces? Yeah, let's make that happen. Make the engine plastic. Rear view mirrors are too simple. We're gonna take this giant iPad and we're gonna put it where the rear view mirror would normally go, right? And every time you look at it wrong, it's gonna malfunction. We're gonna make the body plastic, the windows plastic, everything's gonna be fucking plastic. Plastic drain plugs, plastic bolts, every goddamn thing's gotta be plastic. Why did you guys make this easy to work on? Okay, I love the thought process, but we're gonna scratch that. Plastic tires, plastic mirrors. You guys don't like the twin turbo 4-cylinders? What about 3 turbos?
It's like these automakers are having a competition with one another to see who can make the most absurd, ridiculous shit. Especially domestic automakers, GM, Ford, Chrysler, or Stellantis, whatever you guys are calling yourselves this week. They're all in competition to see who can make the most expensive pile of shit. the most expensive, over-engineered, ridiculous, fantastic plastic pile of garbage. Just this week, I had to do a transmission on a 2020 Chevy Silverado. Barely had 100,000 miles on it. Truck was hardly 5 years old, already needing a transmission. Oh, but base head mechanic, those aren't that hard to do. I do them all the time. That's not the point I'm making here. They're charging you twice as much, and you're getting half the life out of these fucking vehicles. And not to mention, like the comment I'm replying to, they're over-engineered junk. When you go to fill these transmissions, anyone that's familiar with them, you don't get a dipstick anymore. No, there's this little fucking rubber plug that's right on the side of the transmission case, right next to the fucking catalytic converter. Ford does it too. That's why I think these guys are like having a competition and laughing about this shit. But the dipstick is literally not even an inch away from a hot-ass catalytic converter, which is one of the hottest parts of the vehicle. So good luck filling that thing without specialty tools and without burning your fucking hand. Not to mention, you also got to program it and do all this extra shit, this fast learn procedure and shift adaptations and all this nonsense, where you used to could just unbolt the transmission and bolt the new one in, put the fluid in, and fucking go.
In another episode of why this 2025 Ram 1500 Limited is the worst fucking truck I've ever bought. So the Ram has a feature where if you put it in reverse, the mirrors will tilt down. It's kind of a nice feature, allows you to see curbs and stuff like that. Most cars have it these days. Anyway, on this Ram, however, this mirror will go down, but then when it goes up into fucking no man's land. It's looking up at the sky for some reason. It does not go back. It doesn't return to where it was, which is basically my selected profile. So yeah, another feature on this fucking truck that doesn't work like it should.
You ever have one of those days where your CV axle just gets so freaking dang stuck to the dang wheel bearing where you just can't get it off? My buddy beat on it, I beat on it, took it to my buddy's shop, he beat on it, put some heat on it. We try to do everything we really can at the moment. You know what I'm saying? But today we got defeated. Follow for the results. Thank you.
Customer states the battery melted? The fuck? Alright. Looks like the old hood latch popped out into the battery. Holy shit.
So I've got here a 2018 F-150 and this thing's got the 2.7 liter V6. And of course we're replacing an engine oil pan on this thing because they always leak and they're one-time use pans, so you gotta buy a new pan every time you remove the old one. But check out this crazy thing right here. So we've got right here, this is the oil pickup. So this part of the oil pan, it fits into this right here on the oil pump. But if you follow the oil pump, they put a rubber belt to drive the oil pump. What in the world is this right here? If this little belt right here ever breaks on you, there goes your oil pressure and there goes your engine. And of course, you're not going to be able to replace that belt without taking apart the whole front of the engine, including the front timing chain. This just seems like such a cheap, cheesy design.
There's a reason you're seeing more mechanics speak out online than ever before. The people who spend every day repairing American cars and trucks are starting to notice the same patterns, and many believe the problems aren't isolated incidents anymore. One of the biggest complaints isn't that vehicles have become more advanced. It's that they've become advanced in ways that don't always benefit the people who actually own them. Features that used to be controlled by simple mechanical parts are now managed by sensors, computers, and software. That means what used to be a quick repair can now require hours of diagnostics before anyone even knows what the real problem is. Mechanics also say manufacturers are making repairs more complicated than they need to be. On some vehicles, replacing one relatively small part can involve removing multiple other components just to reach it. Jobs that once took an hour can now take half a day, and that extra labor cost is ultimately passed on to the customer. Then there's the issue of reliability. More owners are showing up at repair shops with vehicles that aren't even very old, but are already dealing with electrical problems, transmission issues, engine failures, or warning lights that seem to come back no matter how many times they're cleared. For customers, it's frustrating. For mechanics, it's just as frustrating because they're often expected to solve problems that are becoming increasingly difficult to diagnose. Another thing many technicians have noticed is that manufacturers are relying more heavily on software updates to address issues that, years ago, would have been fixed through better engineering. In some cases, the vehicle itself isn't physically broken, but a software glitch can still leave owners stranded, or dealing with warning messages that require a trip back to the dealership. That's why you're hearing more mechanics speak out now than ever before. They aren't saying every American car or truck is bad, and they're certainly not saying every repair is impossible. What they're pointing out is that the industry has changed dramatically. Vehicles are becoming more expensive to buy, more expensive to repair, and far more complicated than they were just a decade ago. And if that trend continues, many believe the average driver is going to feel those changes every time they take their vehicle in for service.